were some of the things that you did like last night?
The puck fumbling, I found that obviously on the power play, the previous games we had done well because we had possession in the offensive zone. We just didn't score, but we had the long possessions. But yesterday our entries weren't good. They put a lot of pressure and we didn't manage it well. But also 5-on-5, I found, particularly the second period. I thought, when you look back, I thought the first two periods weren't as good as what I would have liked, but it was wrong. It's the second period, maybe because they scored, and then after that it deflated us a bit. I don't know, or because they were just who they are. I mean, it's the Stanley Cup champions, are the best team in the league, so they're gonna make some pushes and they're gonna look good. And second period wasn't what we would have wanted to be. The first was fine, and the third was very good. So all around, if you want to win, you need those 60 minutes to be a bit better.
When you see a little bit of the sloppiness creep into the game, do you second guess the not practicing or the opportunity to maybe take to the ice and not?
Did you think that in the third game?
Yeah. No.
Did you think that the first game?
No. But
there you go.
What do you think you did well to?
Okay then. No practice today.
No, it has no effect now. It's you've played enough, you've practiced enough. It's whoever goes on to make a few passes is just for the mind. It's not to be sharper. It's every game is the other team is such a good team that the minute that you're not doing perfectly, then they're taking over. The minute we're doing great, we're taking over, and that's just how it is. It's just they play so fast, and it's down to the minute details and the fractions of seconds, and that's what it is. And you look at the other series, it's the exact same thing, and both teams are really good, and you think, oh, they played a great game, so the next game they're going to win, and they don't. And just because the other team has got pushed back, and it's all about desperation at this time of the year, and you got desperation for 10, and they got for 10, and it's back and forth, and that's what it's all about. That's why the sport is so great. That's why the Stanley Cup Finals are so fun to watch.
I was just asking for a friend.
No.
You coached Sidney Crosby years ago. Yep. I'm wondering, is there anything you see early in a game from him when you realize it's going to be his best, or that it's going to be even tougher than normal? He's
always good. It's just, he's always good. It's just sometimes we defend better against it, and sometimes he gets his looks, and he will. I mean, it's those types of players. They're just they got 3 superstars in that team. And at some point or another, they're going to get their looks, and it's really tough to defend against that. That's where I give all the credit to our guys for having done already what they've done to be here. We've obviously the first series was tough, and the second series was tough, but this one, it's the Stanley Cup champs. It's the best team. It's the best. So it's really tough on our guys to be able to defend those guys, and that at some point or another, even if you defend well, they're going to get their looks, and. We hope that they get the least possible, but it's Sidney Crosby, and it's Malkin, and it's Kessel, and that's just what it is, and that's what we have to face. And when you look back at what's going on right now, I don't think a lot of people thought it was going to be 2-2 again. So, our players have got a lot of respect for what they've done, what they're still doing, and the opportunity we still have. It's 2-2, and it's Stanley Cup Conference Final. Let's go back to September and say that's where we were going to be. My goodness, we would jump on that. So that's why it's such a great day today.
What goes into defending him well?
But he can twist you. He's obviously fast in a straight line, but I think probably his biggest asset is that you think you have him down low, and all of a sudden he's gone, and he forces himself in. So his forcings have always been probably, for me, I thought he's always his biggest asset. And it was the same in junior. People thought they had him, and he'll twist you, and he's just gone. He's just so powerful. His lower body, his center of gravity is so low, and he's bending down as he skates and twists, and it makes it really hard to handle. So stick on puck is really important against him, and you got to make sure that when he's twisting, you can't get lost on the outside, and. He's good at everything, but if you ask me what I think his best strength is, I would say that's his best strength.
You said yesterday you weren't overly concerned about the power play, but could you not use maybe some momentum from it right now, at least?
Oh, for sure. Like every series, you need one game for me. I always looked at it this way. You need one game where your power play gets you the game. And we've had that the first series, we've had that the second series, and definitely at some point or another, we're going to need one of those games that where the power play makes a difference. And I'll be honest with you, at the end of the game yesterday, I thought, that's 6-on-4, but we won the face-off, and there was a little miscommunication there, and it ended up in our zone. We came back and got a scoring chance, but if we would have at least had that 35 seconds in the zone, could have been the one, but you never know when it's going to happen. And what I didn't like about it yesterday is that we didn't get the zone time and the puck control that we did the previous games. So it wasn't just about the end result yesterday. It was more about the zone entries and the handling of their pressure. We didn't do very well at it. So that we'll need to do better for sure.
Has it gone that poorly to be 0 for 25 here?
No. That's why it wasn't bothering me. Like I have to know what's what, and when it's awful, and it hasn't been awful. We have had all the puck possession and the looks that we wanted to. We just haven't scored. Yesterday we did not, and that was not a good power play day. Definitely, and we need to be better for sure.
Does them changing the goaltender have any effect at all on your game?
On how we approach the game? No,
yeah.
Not at all. Zero. It's goaltenders all have their strengths and weaknesses, and we've, like I said before, we've had Rask, who was on a tear, and then we've had Lundqvist, who was on a tear, and Fleury was on a tear. So let's see this guy as a guy who's on a tear. So it's I think that's what the playoffs are. I'm pretty sure they're looking at our goalie, and the first 3 games they go and ring. Oh well, it's going to be tough to score, and you know what? That's what it is. The last 4 teams, their goalies have been doing amazing, or else we wouldn't be here. That's what it is, and that's why it's so tough to score goals. And the way we score the 2 goals is how we got to do it. We got to have net presence, and we have the pucks going in there. And I thought we could have had more goals yesterday. We had some really good looks. We missed the net on a few occasions where we had the puck close to the net and in the slot. Could it have made a difference? Maybe, but I thought that all around they had a better game than us. We had a good push, but they had a better game than us, and in the end, the team that deserved it got it.
Burrows or Boro available tomorrow?
I be honest with you, I don't know Boro. I gotta ask. Burrows, I know, was getting on the ice today, so I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with that. They both could be in.